Hey guys, welcome to the training tonight. How are we all doing? I noticed Steve Savage is in there straight away. Hi, Mike. Good holiday. It was a working holiday, mate. I can see the room is starting to fill up pretty quick. While we're waiting for people to fill up and get in the room, some of you guys give me some ones and yeses first to let me know you can hear me in the box. Oh, there we go, Cal. Thank you, mate. Oh, and then we've got loads in. We've got 11111. Yes, yes. What's up, G? Uh, hey, Mike. Eric from LA. Yes, can hear you. Awesome one. Can you make the screen bigger? I will do in a minute. I'll take my big fat face off the screen and put that on. So don't worry, I'll just do it while I'm chatting with you guys. Has anyone did anyone see the actual case studies we did? Give me a two if you've seen the case studies. So we've done two case studies so far. Two. Yeah, they're on my YouTube channel. Okay, let me go over here. Pop this in the chat for you guys. Let me put this in. For those that haven't seen them, youtube.com at Mike-Martin. You can get them over there. The two case study, in fact, let me go and find them. So case study number one, we did some point last week, probably this one here, 12 days ago. Then we did the results 2 days later, and I think we had over 100 pages indexed, and most of the pages we looked at were page one ranking in Google, which was quite good. And I'll go through some of the reasons about that tonight, because some of it was to do with case studies and things like. Sorry, it was to do with submitting to Search Console, and we'll look at doing that tonight. Screen too small. All right, let me turn my fat head off. 1 second, buddy. Is that better? Hell yeah. Awesome. Sorry about it. You might hear my throat's going a little bit. I'm not well. And then we did another case study. Where was that one? It was probably case study part one. That would have been that one there. 7 days ago. And then a few days later, we did the results. We also went through Google AI mode. Who's seen that? Did you see what we did with Google? So we're trying to get all this ready for Google AI search mode. So for those who are businesses on here, who are business owners, you won't even know this is coming yet, but we're going to put something inside the system that's going to help you understand Google AI mode and why it's important to be prepared for it. In fact, give me a one in the box. The last message I got was from Keith. Screen too small. So after that, give me a one in the box if you've got a Google Business Profile. One. Okay. And give me a two in the box if you don't know what a Google Business Profile is. Okay, we're getting loads and loads and loads of ones in here. Okay, tons and tons of ones. So everybody knows what a Google Business Profile is. That's good news. Let me take you back over here inside the dashboard. Right, that's brilliant news. So Google Business Profile is basically it's a listing on Google Maps, and you submit it through your Google profile. What's that? Orchid Pretorius is saying, had a really cool result, Mike. After two services got indexed, I added the other two. And within 4 hours, I had a page one, number one spot. Well done, mate. Long time no speak as well, buddy. Yep, got a Google Business Profile, Google Business Profile, Google. Okay, so everyone knows what they are. For the new AI mode, citations is going to become super important. And if you haven't seen the video on my YouTube channel, go and subscribe now because how can I get the recording? I'll send it via email, Michael. And with regards to the Google Business Profile, you're going to start. So there's a lot of my audience that are business owners, and there's a lot of my audience that are entrepreneurs, online marketers, local SEO agencies, and stuff like that. The key to being able to do what we do with the pilot sites once AI mode changes over is going to be connected to having Google Business Profile for the business, and then the pilot sites being connected via a citation, name, address, and phone number of the Google Business Profile listed on the site, so that you can get the sites to rank in all the local areas. My recommended source for getting citations, I certainly can. Give me a second. I'll just, in fact, let me go and copy it off my phone. 1 sec. I should be able to paste it in. Oops, wrong one. Give me a second, guys. Just share the citations thing. The room's still filling up anyway. I can see it tick, 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 tick. We're getting about 10 people every 2 seconds still coming in. So I'm just going to wait until the room's full before I start the training. Let me just have a quick look. Okay, I use this guy here. And I still use the same link that I was given when I first started using him. So it's actually Keith Best, my business partner who owns some of Magic Page plugin. It's actually his affiliate link, and I still use his affiliate link for years and years and years. So that's the one I use. I've just put it in the chat for you guys. Yep, chat window's active. You can just click it. There should be 2 links in there: YouTube link and the thingy link so far. Right, room's pretty full now, guys. Like I said on the message, we can only get 1,000 people in anyway. Because that's the most we can fit into the room on GoToWebinar. We're getting pretty close to that now. So I'm going to basically, what I'll do is I'm going to go through the training. So first thing we're going to do is full setup. So I'm going to walk through the setup from start to finish. Then we'll start looking at some little advanced tips and tricks that you can do with the content and stuff like that. We're going to then looking at submitting to Search Console. Submitting to Search Console is about the most technical thing that any local business will have to do in this process. It's very simple, very easy. It's really, really quick. It takes about 5 minutes, but it gets your pages indexed, gets them submitted into the Search Console, and it starts getting them ranked. We'll also look at the sharing buttons inside the system for sharing to social media. And then we'll look at Google Business Profile and NAP in HTML format. So whenever I'm putting name, address, and phone number onto one of these web pages, I do it in HTML format using ChatGPT, right? So I basically, and I'll show you how I do that. Then we'll do live questions and answers. So don't submit questions throughout. So built a site, the great one here from William though, built a site last week, not indexed yet. How to get indexed? I'll show you that when we go through the submit it to Search Console, William. If you know what that is, but if you don't, I'll show you later today. Then I'm going to do live questions and answers. But if you've got questions, write them down at your end. Don't submit them, and then at the end, because we've got 985 people on so far, so soon we'll be full. Okay. So if you all post questions in at the same time, there's no way I'm going to get them all. I'll catch them. And then at the end, what we'll do is I'll say submit 3 question marks with each question. And I'll probably spend half an hour, 45 minutes answering questions, depending on how many I get. If I get 300 questions, I will try to answer them all. If I start seeing the same ones over and over, which is what normally happens, I'll answer up to the point where I feel like there's no value in me just keep answering the same question. Can I still do without a Google Business Profile? Okay, that's a good question. I'll answer that before we're full now anyway. But basically, if Google AI mode becomes the primary search feature, from all the testing and everything we've done with normal business websites, having a Google Business Profile, you're good. If you've got a real business, you're going to get much more rankings in your local area using 3Local with a Google Business Profile, which is free, so there's no reason not to have one on your real business website. If you want to have pilot sites all over the country, it's my YouTube channel's in the chat. It's youtube.com/@Mike-Martin. But so what you're going to want to do is, if you're going to want pilot sites all over the country, what we're going to recommend you do is we set up a local website first in a major city. You set up a Google Business Profile for the major city and use the citation information for the Google Business Profile on all of your pilot sites. And that way you can rank in additional areas as long as you let your Google Business Profile know, like Google know, that you do further afield than your actual central location. And we'll still put your central location at the bottom, and I'll show you how to do that in a bit. Right, I'm going to jump in. So what you can see here is this is what 3Local looks like when you very first purchase it. So when you very first purchase it, you come in, you get your 2 training videos here. What I will likely do is maybe start putting webinar 1, walkthrough webinar 2, and webinar 3 below here. I just don't want to, because I don't want to complicate it too much. So it's probably best if people go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Once you've subscribed to the YouTube channel, at least I'll definitely put it on the YouTube channel, and you'll get and click the bell so you get notifications. And at least that way it's not inside the system, because I really only want essential videos in here. Because if a new business signs up and there's 30 videos in 30 months time and he's looking, it's like, whoop, I'm out of here. I don't want to watch all them videos. So I don't really want to put it in here thinking about it. So I think what we do is sign up to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, click the bell, and you'll get notifications when I post a video. And I'll post the replays in there, and I'll probably email the replay out to you as well. So the first thing you do is you go over to my site. We don't need to, you watch these training videos, obviously, but the first thing you do is you go over to my site and you start filling in your business information. So I've purchased this for a client site. So what I'm going to do, even though it's got my name there, because I've put it on my email address because I couldn't get hold of him today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, I'm going to fill in his information. So we're going to go through the simple basic process before we do anything else. So his business, he told me now it's called Autos, like this. I've been doing it wrong in the previous examples. His phone number is from the UK. His web address is over here. So what we've done is we've created a single page website. So most local businesses have got a 1 or a 2 or a 5 page website. This is designed specifically to be put onto an existing business website. We're never going to let this be stuck on the www front end. We're always going to insist that it gets put on to, so it's an attachment for a website. It's not to build full websites. Because a full website needs to be connected with a Google Business Profile and all the rest of the stuff, we want people to have real websites. So you paste the URL in here, and then you'll see it pops up in here, https://local.mrautos.co.uk, right? So this guy's all auto electrician. So I'll click out of there. We've got the 3 ticks, click continue. Next thing is his town. He asked me to do Basildon in this one. Basildon, UK, so I'm assuming that's going to be the Basildon in Essex. Click continue. He does auto electrician, and he does, what was the other one he told me to do? Diagnostic. I reckon people will put diagnostics repair, won't they? I don't know is the answer, but he told me off because I was putting car key repairs, and he's like, we don't do that. And I've done it on like 3 or 4 sites for him. So it's diagnostics repairs. No, it's going to be diagnostic repairs, isn't it? Diagnostic repairs and auto electricians. So you put your 2 main trades in, your 2 main services in here. You can add additional services later on. Okay. So I'm going to click continue. And as you can see here, it just shows all the information that we've just put in. I don't even know if that's how you spell diagnostic, but I don't suppose it matters for the training. Click finish. And now 3 local goes off, and this is where it's kind of doing all the magic in the back end. So this is designed specifically to structure the website exactly as it needs to be. So everything is tiered together, all the internal linking is done, all the linking throughout the pages is done. It's all randomized because internal linking is as important as external linking now. One of the less important things nowadays is content, but this does a decent version of your content for you. The only thing that I would do is go in and edit the content so it's more personal to you in your business. It can't write it personal to you because it doesn't know who you are or what you do. But what you'll notice now is the new accounts have all got 4 services, okay? Services 2 of 4, which means even if you've only got 12 locations like this, okay, which I've only got on this 4-mile radius, I can add 5 additional custom locations, which would take us up to 17 in total. Then that's going to be times 4, 7, 14, 21, 28. So we're going to have 68 location website built in like 2 minutes if we decide to put these 5 locations in, okay? So the first thing you want to do once this pops up is you've got a notification at the top here that tells you to add a CNAME. So you need to go over to where you've bought your domain name. And we can't really automate this yet. Eventually, it might get easier, but it's really, really simple, okay? So what you do is you go over to where your domain is. So this domain I've got in Cloudflare, yes? So you might have it in, there's GoDaddy, there's various places here that you could have your domain, GoDaddy, Namecheap, Google, domains, Cloudflare's mine, INS, Squarespace, Heart Internet I've got quite a lot with. You go in, this will show you exactly how to do it, but it's that simple. But once you've seen how it's done in one, it should be very, very easy. So what you do is you go to your domain name, and we've not even added it today yet, so it's not been done, so we're going to have to do it live. So all I've done is I've pointed this at the web page builder, and I've pointed this at Google servers, at Cloudflare servers, so I can do a redirect to the home. That's it, right? Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to click add record, and we're going to select what it tells us to select in here. So it says CNAME. So you're going to add a CNAME, then you're going to point it to what it tells us to add in here. So the name is going to match this. Name / host is local. So I'm going to select that, copy that, and I will paste that in there. Then it says target. So your target is value or points to. Yes, yeah? So your target is what it points to. So that's sites.3local.com. And paste that in there. And it's got proxy next. So you literally just work your way across. So proxy is below the TTL here, but proxy is off. And TTL is either 360 or automatic. So we'll come back over here, switch the proxy off. TTL, we can set that to, I don't even think we can on here. Nope. So we just set it to auto. So we've got CNAME, local, sites. This is it. That's all you got to do, and then click save. Now, depending on who your domain name is with, this can take up to, I think it's 72 hours to populate. You can't have the DNS thing set on proxied at first, but if you're struggling to get the SSL certificate to go live, you could switch that on later if you're in Cloudflare. So we've done that now. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to click retry validation. Now this might not work straight away because we've only just created this, but we'll see. Right, it hasn't done it as yet, so we'll give it a couple of minutes. And then when I click retry on that, or that might just disappear on its own once it retries. So once that disappears, that means you're connected. So the first thing I'm going to say to you to do is you want to come down and you got your homepage content here and you got your service page content here. Okay. So the first thing I want to walk through very, very quickly is the homepage content and what's important about it. So your business name sits up here, your business phone number. And if you switch this on and click save down here, what that's going to do is that's going to make sure that you've got a click to call on all your web pages. So whenever you go to one of your web pages, there's a click to call on it, which is down at the bottom on the right hand side because people call off websites. And there's also a click to call for when anyone goes on a mobile. It's at the bottom of the screen of your phone, so that people can ring through to your business instantly. And your full business address will go in here. Now, if I was connecting this to a Google Business Profile, I would have the actual address information copied and pasted. Okay, copied and pasted from the Google Business Profile straight into here. I will answer all your questions at the end, guys. Then you've got your domain name in here. This can be changed, right? But what this is for, this is automatically puts your domain name in there. So let me click turn overlay on. So I'll show you what that does because this is really, really cool, right? So I'll come back up, right? As you can see, SSL configuration. So the notification at the top's disappeared. That means that this there that I've just created is now connected because it's gone from up here. So now I should be able to click, let's click save radius and let's click publish. And then let's click live site. It probably won't work while the SSL certificate's populating. Right, it's not going to work while the SSL certificate is populating. So we'll give that a bit of time. Okay. But what will happen is before the end of today, this should have. Sorry, I thought I could hear something, and I thought my phone or something was going off. Sorry, guys. So by the end of today, we should be able to see the live site. So we're going to use the preview site for now. Okay, so we'll use the preview site. You should get used to using the preview site anyway, because it's an exact replica. So a preview of the site looks like this. Okay, so when you first put it up, Autos are us. This has got the auto electrician pages. These are the locations. These are the locations with the SEO optimized content written for your location with your different types of niches and stuff. You go through and you edit this and make it right for yours. Diagnostic repairs, like Neve done, for example. And as you can see, it should automatically put all these links and everything in place for you. Right, so the first thing I always do when I build one of these, the very first thing I do is I go to edit homepage, scroll down to the content, and I always put a map at the bottom straight away. So the first thing I do is I pop a map in here. And what I also do, just above the map, is I click on here and I go service links, right? And what this will do is that's going to put a copy of the menu of this further down here, linking to it. And then that little short code for the map is going to put a map in position. So I click save changes, go back over here, quick refresh. I just think it looks better, even though I don't show this page at all, right? So the difference between this demo page and then the page with the overlay turned on looks like this. I'll show you. So you scroll down here, click on this with overlay. It actually shows the client's page, the client's web page. So the great thing about this is once you've started to build these up, everything gets sent straight back to the homepage of the client's website. So the client's website, the website doesn't change, or your business website doesn't change. What happens instead is your website starts to rank in every town, village, and suburb. So we've just done this one. If I click on sitemap, you can see we've got all these pages here now. All these tons and tons of pages already. So let's just do Command and F. Local dot, it's Mr. Autos, isn't it? So if you look up there, local.mr, that's on every page URL. I can see we've got a 27 page website already. Done, content written, all in place. If we didn't do anything else now, and we just left this alone, you'd still be in a position where this, for most industries, is going to outrank the competition, because we're doing pages for every single location and every single service, and we're putting SEO optimized content in place straight out the gate. Okay, so there's not a huge amount for you to do if you just want to sit back and leave it alone. But if you don't, and you want to go in and you really want to make this work, then you're going to go in and edit your content inside of your service pages like this. And what you do is you go through. Now, the only thing to understand here, you can play around and test all these certain little site name, site location. Site name brings in your business name. Site location brings in your business address from where we were earlier. But the main one is this location tab here. So basically what this means is commercial or electrical services. In fact, let's put near. Okay, and then if I go up here and grab this location shortcode, this is the most important thing, because this basically goes save and back, publish, and then preview. And we'll go over to the auto electrician. Let's see if that was the one I was on. Look at that. So it's there, comprehensive auto electrical services near Vange, or whatever that's called. But if I now go over to Pitsea, you can see the same, near Pitsea. And if I go to Langdon, you can see Langdon. So what the location shortcode does is it dynamically edits your content on a per page basis, so that you use that wherever you're going to put town, village, suburb, whatever it is that you want. So it's whatever the near or in location is. Always put that shortcode and it'll automatically show it in the place that you go into. So that's what enables us to do this so quickly and so easily. Right, let me come back over here. So as far as editing content and that, it's very, very basic, very, very simple. You can see we've automatically put some examples in, which mentions service in location. So this one will automatically say expert service. So that service shortcode there shows whatever your service is. So for example, if this is auto electrician here, if I go up there and wave over it, you can see it says expert auto electrician in Basildon. That is this expert service in location hyphen site name, which will be your business name. So if I go back up there, you can see it says expert auto electrician in Basildon, pipe autos arrows, which is the name of the business. So you can leave them alone. You can edit them a little bit, but you want to keep service in location or service near location and site name, because it makes every single one pretty much unique. Let me have a look what else we were going to go through on this today. So it's that simple. It's that easy. It's very, very simple, basic, and easy. I'm just going to click save radius again. I'm going to click publish, and I'm going to try and see if the live site's still not yet. Let me just refresh it a little bit. Now we're waiting on the SSL certificate to pop up. Another thing that's really important though is these add custom locations. So this basically means if there's locations missing, so we've already got all these locations, but if you go in here and you look at your map and you're like, okay, I'm going to zoom in and have a look. So I normally pick the bigger areas when I'm doing a website where I don't know where I am. So I'd probably do North Benfleet. So what you do is you click it on the map, get the dot as close to it as the little pin drop as close to the name as possible, and then I'd go North Benfleet. Is that how you spell it? B-E-N Fleet, not feet. North Benfleet. Then I would hit drop down, save and add another item, and then I'd zoom in again. And as you can see, that one's green now and it's staying where it was. So I'd probably go in and be like, right, okay, what's the area I want in Basildon? So let's do Nevendon. And we'll add these 5 just so you can see it. Save and add another item. So each time you have to zoom in again and re-find another location. But this is adding a page, not just for one, but for each of your services. So I'm just going to put Ramsden on that one because I don't know if people would put, let's just do it how it is. Ramsden Bell House, save and new. This doesn't just create a page, it creates a page per location, per niche that you've got, or per service that you're offering. Let's do Great Burstead. Save and new. I think we can add one more. I think we had 5. You get 5 of these as standard. And if you do add additional miles, you can add additional ones of these as well. You come every additional mile you add, you get an additional. I can't see any more that I want. You get an additional 5 of these. Let's do Corringham, which is pretty far out, but we'll just do it anyway. This will probably end up a 20-mile site anyway. Right, save and done. So now I can go back to my site, click publish. Right, if I go preview now, and we go up to the page before that we looked at earlier, you'll see what this has done is it's created, see Ramsden Bell House, Corringham, it's done all of the ones that we've just added. It's created pages with SEO optimized content in every single one of those areas. Okay, so we've now got additional pages, additional locations, and if you've got all 4 services activated, then with this, we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 pages times 2. So there's 34 pages there of local SEO content designed to rank for diagnostic repair Basildon, for example. Or electrician Basildon, and if I knew 2 more niches that this, or 2 more services this guy goes after, I would add them additional 2, and it will double the size of our website. So we go straight from 30 odd pages just by adding 2 words. So for example, I should give you an example. If I go in here now and click on manage services, you've got 4 services. So if I click add my service, and let's say this guy does, I don't know, electrical fault identification. I'm going to take these off in a minute. I'm not going to do this to him, right? And we can put save and add new. But just because I've done that, if I now go back to site, publish, and then I click preview, you can see we've got 3 now. So if I click electrical site, we've got another 17 pages. Now the content's still writing itself, so it's not yet showing up because the content is being written in the back end. Now the content for these new pages is not as good as the first 2 services that you get. So what I would recommend doing is definitely go through, and in fact that content looks really good. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is now designed for electrical fault identification services in Bowers, Gifford, and the page is written, and then what shows up in Google, expert electrical fault identification in Bowers, Gifford, is designed to rank for that keyword in that location. So this has just gone from being a 714 34 page website. Let's have a look. We'll go over to sitemap, Command and F, local.mr. Now this is a 55 page website we've just built in a few minutes without any technical ability, without any skill. And these pages, once these are it's starting to work now, you can see because it says site can't be reached. Before it was just completely black, so it's just waiting for the SSL certificate to populate. Let me just have a scan. Nope. Click done. We'll get rid of that. It'll probably work before we leave. So let me just see if there's anything else we're missing there. Right, what I'll do now, guys, before I go on and start showing you how to share on social. So you will see here, see where it says live site? See this little drop down here? Share site, okay? So you can see your site index status. That means if you click site index, it will go over and do site local dot whatever your URL is .co.uk, and it will show you what's indexed in Google just by clicking that and then site index. So as they start to get indexed, you can look at them here. This will show you real sitemap, which is not yet showing because the SSL certificate's not active. That's still populating in the background. As you can see up here, it says your site is currently being secured with SSL, which means secure socket, which is the little padlock you get in the top left. The process typically takes 24 to 48 hours, so it can take up to 24 to 48 hours for that to go live. Now, share site. This is important because when we create a new site like this, if you want to start getting your pages indexed, it's great to go and share them on social media. So if I click share site and then I click Twitter, for example, I probably think that one. Am I logged in? Let's have a look. Yep, there we go. Okay, cool. So I can go back now. Just let me jump back out of here and let me go share. Now this, what this should do is pop up a post. Check out my new 3 local site. Post. Done. Okay, so that's just posted it onto social media, straight onto my profile. And that will help get the pages indexed in your website. The most important thing to do though is submit to Search Console. So that basically is giving the pages and the website itself to Google. Okay, so I'll go through that next before I start taking any questions. In fact, before I do that, I'll show you NAP information. Okay, so let's go with ChatGPT. So everyone knows what ChatGPT is now, I would imagine. So we've got ChatGPT. And then what you want to do is, so let's say this business is called Autos Arrows, yeah? What I would do is I would type Autos, Autos are us. And then I would put, I'm just going to put, I don't know his address, so I'm just going to put Middleton, Manchester. But what you want to do is put the exact address that you've got from your Google Business profile. Then come down here and we're just going to put, in fact, we'll put telephone, colon. Okay, this is their number. So what I would now do is I'll go into here and say, create me right. So I'd put create me NAP information, and we'll just call it, we'll just put name, address, phone, information. It doesn't need to make sense, and just let's see what this pops up with. We've done this a few times, but so as you can see what this is doing now, this is actually creating the information in HTML format. Okay, so I can now highlight this. Now, the reason I'm telling you to do it this way is if we wrap it in this text here, so I can click copy and paste this in, it's in a better format for Google to read. So we can always put your name, address, and phone number at the bottom and it won't matter. But if I now go into here, edit page, scroll to the bottom of the page, then I'd select this little 2 arrows, and then I'll go to the very bottom, and I'll go paste, and I'll click save changes. Then what I'll do is go into each of my service pages and do the same process. Okay, so this is like a citation. This is important to have going forward. So I'm going to go back in here, jump down to the bottom, paste the same thing in there. So you see that bit of content that I've just pasted in. Save. And then I'm going to click save and back, and I'm going to go to my other one. I'm going to paste it in there. Now this, you don't need to have to do it in HTML format, but I like to do it in HTML format because I know Google can definitely read it better. Right, so if I now publish live site, we're still not there on the live site. I'll keep trying, but we can click preview over here and you can see what this has done. Autos are us, Middleton, Manchester, and the phone number is all set up in the exact format that we want. But because we pasted it into that HTML tab, it's also going to be read a lot easier by Google. So as soon as it goes to the page, it can see exactly what it's looking for the NAP information. Okay, that makes sense? Right, NAP information, sorry, Mauricio, is name, address, and phone number, and you want it to match identically what you see on your Google Business profile. So if I go over here and type SEO agency Weymouth, and I go and find mine, you see how my address is like that, 79 Lynch Lane. So if I was putting this information in for my business, I would have that exact address as it's shown there. I'd have that phone number exactly as it's shown there. And I would have More Leads Local exactly as I've shown there. So the business name exactly as it's shown in Google. the address exactly as shown on your Google Business Profile, and the phone number exactly as it's shown in your Google Business Profile. It's called NAP information, name, address, and phone number. And the reason we want it exactly as it is, as it's shown on there, is that's classed as a citation then. And if you watch my other video that I did the other day, which is Google AI mode for local businesses, you will see exactly why we want this in the search. I'm actually ranking this. I can't show you on here because I have to set up my USA server to show it you working. But if you watch that video, you'll see exactly why that NAP information is so important for these sites going forward, even if you're doing it for a real business. Right, the next thing we want to look at before we go, before we do questions and answers, which I will get to all your questions, guys, if you've got any, is submitting to your site to Search Console. You see here it says, to help your site appear in Google, submit your sitemap to Search Console. This is your sitemap here, okay? That there is your Google sitemap, right? So if I click submit your sitemap, right, I would, well, in fact, I'll just close that. I'll highlight and copy it from here first, yeah? It just seems easier to copy it from that bit. Click copy. So you're going to right click and copy that. Then we're going to click there, and then you're going to click submit to Search Console, okay? So what I'm going to do when I click on this is I'm going to drag this out of the screen a second, guys, so that no personal information gets shown. Right, so just so you see, I'm about to click the Start Now button that's on there. So I'm going to click Start Now. And then I'm going to hit the drop down arrow at the top. Right, so there's nothing personal I can't show you on this one. So I'm going to drag this one over. See this one here? There. I'm going to hit that drop down arrow. And I'm going to select a tab. So I've got client information on here. Add property. Right, when I click add property, it's going to look like this. And I'm pretty sure I can do the rest in front of you. So I'm going to hit that drop down arrow. Add property. Then I'm going to go into here. So let's go back over to the website for the client. I'm going to highlight that, copy that URL, that domain there. Then I'm going to go in here. I'm going to paste this in here. Then what you got to do with this, you want the left-hand side when you want the full domain. We're going to grab all that and pull it across like this. And it's going to ask you to add some information to your domain name. But if you use Cloudflare, Cloudflare is free and it sets a secure socket layer on your website. So you can set up a Cloudflare account in about 5 minutes for your web domain, and it will automatically pull in all the information. Watch what it does. If you use Cloudflare the way we do, rather than doing it via your domain, you click continue. See how it says there, cloudflare.com. So I can click start verification. It should pop up over here and show me some stuff inside Cloudflare. So what it wants to do is add this text record to prove ownership, yeah? There's other ways of verifying it, but this is the easiest. So I'll click authorize. Now it takes me back, and it's that quick. It's done, it's authorized. It's now inside of Google Search Console. Now this might not work because the thing is not popular, not this one here, but because the SSL hasn't populated yet. So now I can go to the property, yeah? So you're going to click go to property. And then what we're interested in here, you can read all this stuff in your own time, but you're interested in sitemaps, okay? And as you can see, this has already pulled in 3 sitemaps from this website, okay? Don't know how that's happened. Probably because we've had a website on this in the past with 1,100 pages in it. But at the minute, it's nothing. It's a one-page website. So what you do is go back over to here, grab your sitemap from here, or you can grab it from the other page without if you want. So, or you can copy it from there. Probably the best bet is copy it from here. So there's your sitemap, okay? local.mros.co.uk/sitemap.xml, okay? So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to paste that into there. So you click on sitemaps, come add new sitemap, paste this in. So it's basically your local dot plus your sitemap XML and click submit. At first, it's not going to show the pages. So you see how it says there? Couldn't fetch. But when you refresh it, so don't panic when it says this. When you refresh it, it should show you that it's pulled them all in. On mine, it's not doing right now because we're still waiting on the SSL certificate to populate. Okay, so that's why this hasn't updated. So because we're doing this live, it kind of messes things up a little bit. So it's not pulling them in, but that's what will happen. And then this number will turn to whatever number of pages you got on your site. But at the minute, I'm still waiting on the SSL certificate populating, which is a pain in the backside. Say radius, publish, live site. And we've still not got the SSL populated. And all that is a time thing. That can take up to 24 hours to think. So we're constantly using the preview button. Right, guys. I was seeing loads of questions popping up throughout whilst I was going through. I knew that a lot of the questions were going to get answered whilst I was going through. But that's how we do the NAP information as HTML format. That's how we connect it to Google Search Console. Okay, loads of questions have popped up. QQQ. Okay, we get loads more. One sec, guys. I'm going to try and do these one at a time. This is great Google rank strategy. How can we make the site relevant for AI generative search as well? Okay, so Google's AI generative search is still pulling from the page. Okay, so as long as the content about the subject is on the page, it will pull it in, but it will always pull it in first if it is connected to a Google business profile for local businesses. This is why you want a Google business profile, and your NAP information is so important. Okay. Let me have a look. Right. Question. The system requires a different email with each registration. Which email needs to be different? The client contact or the billing email? Okay, so the email that needs to be different is the one that you set up the system with. So the one that you set up at the beginning when you first sign in on the account. However, there is something, Jamie, which I'm going to talk to you about in a minute when I finish doing the questions, which is coming next. So I've got a what's next section. We've got two things we're working on right now that are going to come next, and I'm hoping that they'll be ready in a few weeks, but I'm not going to promise, because every time I promise, so we get a big problem pops up and it destroys it, and it takes longer than expected. Anyone who's worked with developers know that happens all the time. Can we use this on existing sites? If yes, how? You only use it on existing sites, Joffrey. So you get an exit. So this is an existing website. Yeah, this is not this. This is an existing website, mrautos.co.uk. When I edit inside of here, it adds it automatically to the local.Mr. Autos, and it adds pages for every single town, village, and suburb that your business wants to cover. Then when you hit this drop down, you do it with the overlay, it will actually show your business in every single area that this is done for. So this is designed to be added onto existing business websites, and then it will rank these pages in every single area, and then you put the overlay in place. But getting a Google business profile is very important. Let me have a look. Dan, I noticed in my sitemap pages list that the system prepends the two main locations with the state name. Could I also include the state name when adding my own locations as well? Good question, Dan. Let's go and have a look. Let's go to locations. I don't know the answer, is the honest truth. So what I'm going to do here is, you can see we've got global, global I was going to call them. We've got global locations which are pulled in from our database, right? So there's nothing you can do about that, right? But what I would like to see now, but you can edit these. So it says edit there, but if you edit them every time you do an update or a save or a publish, they're going to go back to normal. So it's a waste of time. Let's go and have a look in here. So if I go into here, and I think this is in Essex, right? So URL slug unique. Oh yeah, you can look. So I can do Corringham, Essex, and so if I click save and back, that's Corringham, Essex. So when I click go back to my site, click publish, view live site. Nope, still not done the SSL, you son of a right. But if I now go back over to here, and it was Corringham, Essex. Look at the URL. It's got Essex in there. So yeah, you can do what you want with that. I think that's what you meant, bud. But yeah, you can, which will make it more relevant, more local. Basildon is in Essex. Yeah, we're just checking I did it in the right place. Right, guys, I'm losing. Can this platform be white labeled? Not yet, BJ. It's coming. I'll tell you in a minute what we've got coming up, which is coming next. The very next thing that's coming. Does the Google business profile get pulled in automatically? Not yet, Mary. It's like you guys are reading my mind. Mary's just asked if the Google business profile gets pulled in automatic. Something we're working on. We're hoping we can do it. We've done it in previous stuff that we've built in the past, Brandjacker and things like that. So we know that it can be done. but we want to be able to do it, you to be able to do it whilst you're setting up the system. It's like you're reading my mind. I should just shut up and not tell you, because then it's a bigger surprise when it comes out. But we're trying, like literally, we are trying some of that. Right. If a business does not have a website, we can build a new site, and then we can use this to add this services to the site. Yes, exactly, Ritesh. You can do that. You can go and get a free website somewhere, or you can build a one-page website. I'm just building for this client here. His sites that I'm putting up, they're all just based on one site builder, and I'm just putting landing pages, and all I'm doing is cloning the landing pages and changing the location keyword and the meta title. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing a huge amount of stuff. He knows exactly what I'm doing. It's not like I'm tricking him out. And then what I'm doing is I'm getting Google to now write me content. I was getting ChatGPT to do it before, but I'm using Google to write the content because Google seems to give better content. With the new Google AI, you haven't got it in the UK yet, but it's coming. But I'm using it on NordVPN. So I've got a VPN that says I'm based in the States, so I get access to the new AI thing. GBP, which is Google Business Profile, often get penalties by Google. Example, if it ranks and rents site, is it possible to use this without Google Business Profile? It is possible to use without Google Business Profile, Joffrey, but this is designed to work for real businesses. Like, you're not going to get the results that you would, and you're also not going to carry on getting the results going forward building these pilot sites independently. Like, you need to start. No, don't wait there. I shouldn't say you're not, because there's no guarantee that Google's going to keep the AI search, okay, that they've been creating. But if they do, then the way that we've been playing and testing and messing around with it, from everything that we're seeing, Google Business Profile is going to be the hook for local businesses. So local businesses are going to have them, and then it's the way into the 3-pack. Okay, so when you get a search, I've not got a search on here, have I, at the minute? When you get a search, top right up here, you get 3 websites listed. Those 3 websites seem to be connected to the citation of a Google Business Profile. Like 99.9% of the time, we've not seen hardly any rankings coming in on the top right in the 3-pack that have not connected to a citation that's connected to a Google Business Profile. So which is why it's going to become more and more important. But I mean, the great thing is the free. It just means that little tiny bit more work and getting it verified, and it means it connects it to a real business. And for the last few years, they've been pulling down fake ones. So it makes it that it gives us a few more things to step through, but it's going to mean that these search results are much more legit going forward. So it's actually a good thing. It is a good thing. Let's have a look here. Oh God, there's loads of questions coming now, guys. Right, can I add the script to? Okay, wait there. Is there a way to get Google Business Profile for Rank and Rent? Oh wait there. Can I use this platform to promote a non? Well, there's that many questions coming in, guys. I'm right. That's the last one there. Right. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure everyone's questions gets answered. Can I use this platform to promote a non-profit organization? Of course you can. Yes, you just promote any organization. It works for any real business. Like the biggest gap for local businesses is that you go to a website company and they'll build you a website for a tiny little village, a tiny little town. In fact, look at that Basildon there. That's what your website rankings look like if you've got a normal website. That's the only place you rank for. When you add free local to it, it looks like that, and it covers every town, village, and suburb within your radius. That's the difference that free local makes to it. But realistically, you still need a real business website to do this, and a non-profit's exactly the same. It will still be a real business website. Right, let me just have a look. Sorry guys, but I'm if I miss your question, you're gonna have to put it in again, because I'm slowly. Don't do it yet because I've still got loads to go. Right, Jan, maybe. If I approach a small franchise with multiple locations locally, I understand we sell them 1-3 local service per Google Business Profile location. However, the AI will cover, so there's no duplicate content. Will both set of 3 local pages compete for first page in the radius for the 2-3 local GMB overlap, say 50%? Yes, they will, but they'll both be unique content. and they would both compete in the same area. I would probably, I mean, the overlap's cool. It's not going to cause a problem. And we have got something coming soon, which will cure this and make this a lot easier for you, Jan. A hell of a lot easier for you to handle clients like that. Right, I'm on Maury. Can we add custom location database to this like we can with Magic Pages plugin? You can add custom locations, like I've just shown, but you can't just import a database. No, it's just one at a time. The reason we've done this and the reason we've added custom locations is what we want is for you to go in, add my location, right? And let's say I go in and add this location, right? So let's say, Maury, you was to go in and you was to add this North Benfleet, yeah? And then I wanted to go in and add North Benfleet, but I put it here, for example, yeah? And you put it over here, and then you put it here. The information that we're pulling in the back end is different for each one. So the location-specific information and the map at the bottom, the data is completely different. The chances of you hitting the identical same spot as me is almost nil. So because of that, every single one, even if people select the same locations, end up with different websites and different, slightly different central locations and stuff like that. So it keeps everything unique. If you could just upload a database, everyone's got the same. So we're trying to keep everything as unique as we possibly can. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Mike, where are the pages hosted? His money site is hosted in Texas. 3 local pages are hosted in the UK. I don't get how this part. This is moving over to something to do with Amazon. I don't understand completely how it's working, Peter, but what I do know is that eventually the servers will all be served from exactly where the clients are based, or as close to as possible. Something to do with Amazon and some cloud. I don't know how it works, but yeah, that's already been taken into account. Is there a way to change the main location? I don't know, Ockett. I don't know. I don't think so. Once you put the main location in, I think you're stuck. Will we get recording this webinar? Of course you will. What platform are we using to build the one-page websites? Whatever you want. You basically. So we did a bit of research on this, and this was a conversation we had, right? So we don't want. This is not designed specifically for SEO experts and people like that to come in and use, because we've got Magic Page plugin for that. A Magic Page plugin does exactly what this does, but it's super technical, and you can go as in depth and you can do all the crazy stuff that you want to do. This was designed and built for local businesses to be able to do it themselves. So when we looked at this, we realized that probably 96-97% of local businesses have already got a website. They don't need another www.url.com. So we created this specifically to be attached to their existing business website. Also, when you go and speak to a business, so let's say I'm doing this as a service. If I go and talk to a business, he doesn't want me to touch his website. He's like, it's been there for years. I don't know how to get into it. I don't want you to touch it. And I can say, don't worry, I don't need to. Did you buy your own domain name? 99% of businesses bought their own domain name, right? Because that's their asset. They own it. And it's like, yeah, it's over at GoDaddy or wherever. Well, all we need to do is add this little tiny C name for you. So it kind of makes it a lot easier. And we're not going too far on a first date type of thing. Do you know what I mean? We only need to add the little tiny C name, which is the local and the sites.3local.com, and that's it. How to add more sites to 3local? Susan, at the moment, you're still in a situation where you have to do each individual site needs a new login with a unique domain name. If you want a larger radius, please explain the pricing. It is $10 per month. Wait, let me open that. Per month for additional miles. Exactly, yes. So if I was to go in here now, it says to me there, add 1 mile for 6 more locations and 5 more custom locations. So if I was to go up to 5 miles on this and then click save, I can't because I've only got 4. It would add me an additional 11 locations per service. So it would add me an additional 44 location pages after I'd added the custom pages and the 6 here. I'd end up with 44 additional pages on this website. And yes, we do charge per mile, but what we find is most businesses don't need to go above 4 or 5 miles. It's very rare. And those that want to do a 100-mile radius, as you have probably heard me say for years, those that have been following me for years, people that are going and putting 15, 20, 30, 40, 50-mile radiuses around Magic Page plugin websites are finding out that they're completely wasting their time and it doesn't work because it's not realistic in Google's eyes like all the other real businesses. Real businesses tend to target a similar radius to this, and we've kind of kept it as close to as possible. But if you want to try and go bigger, like they say, go big or go home, but realistically, if you do go big, you're going to end up paying for it, specifically because and it's probably not going to work. So it's kind of going to deter people, and they're going to get better results. If you go too big with these sites, just like Magic Page plugin sites, you're not going to get the indexing and the rankings that you're expecting. The indexing isn't there. You go in at 4 to 5 miles, every page will index and rank. Right, can you explain the difference between the 4 different map shortcodes? Okay, yes, of course I can. 1 second, William. So I'll go into Edit Home. Scroll down here. Okay, let me just jump in the bottom of this below. Right, so let's go in and put in 4 different map codes. So we've got map. Then I'm going to go and put in map dog walking. Then I'm going to go in and put map plumber. Oops. 1 second. And then I'm going to put in map 50%, and I've done it again, and I'm like an idiot. Right, there we go. So in fact, them two have swapped the wrong way around. So let's pull that back out, and let's go in and paste that one in there and do a space. Right, so standard map, this. Save changes. And then let's go back to, give me a sec, preview. So the standard map looks like this. So all it does is pulls in a standard map based on your business name in the location that you're in. So your business name is Autos R Us, yeah? So the standard map code pulls in based on yours. If you don't have a Google Business profile, it won't show up, okay? So you just end up with a load of information, okay? That's this one, actually, the same one that we've just done above. The second map code, so let me take you back in. You can add a keyword in, right? So this now is going to pull in all the dog walking businesses in Basildon. So let me show you. Look, a Star Dog Walking and Pet Services, Brandy's Buddies, and blah, 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 blah. So if I go back in here now and change this to Auto Electricians, for example, and click Save Changes, it's a pain in the backside. I have to click. Oh, I think I can save and no, I can't. I have to come back. Now it says Auto Electricians. So if I go back to that page and click Refresh, see now? So this is the second map down. So there's your standard map. This is the next one down. If you look on it, Auto Tech Fleet, Basildon Electrics, Tech Auto Services, Langdon Hills. So now it's pulling in auto electricians. And if I was to change that to plumber or roofer or electrician or whatever it was, so we can choose a keyword that we want it to pull it in for, which is the second one down, which is this map here, dog walking. So you change what it says. This one here it zooms in and out. So let's go in here and put 19 and then click Save Changes. And then we're going to go back to here. So if I scroll down to the second map from the bottom, it's zoomed into there, yeah? And if I refresh the page, because I changed it from 14 to 19, as you can see, we're zoomed all the way in now and almost sat on the street. So if I was to do this, you're going to see super close in, right? But if I now go back over to this, click Edit, scroll back down to that map that we've just done, and I do map, say, 9 instead of 19, Save Changes, back over, see where it is there? So I'm going to click Refresh. And now look how far out we are. We're like miles and miles and miles out. So if we come out now, you can see we're miles away. So that does that. And then the very bottom one, the very last one, which I forgot what it was, but let's have a look. Oh, this just gives us a half size map, so you can decide what your width and height is. So this is if you want to put a map in a certain position. So if I was to change this to 75% and click Save Changes, that map that we've got there now, that's 50% of the page, if I click Refresh, is going to cover 75% of the page. If I was to go in and change the height, it's a pain that I have to do that every time, but I guess it is what it is. If I was to go in and say, oh, let's make this 900 just because we want a really big, high size map for some crazy reason. If I go back over to here, click Refresh, you've got a stupidly big map that you don't want on your page. So it just enables you to change the sizes and stuff like that. So before we come out of here, because this actually will be used as a site, I'm going to just go back in and delete those map codes. And hope that I've not edited any of that HTML by accident. Right, so that's been done. So that was... Oh, there were loads. Can you explain the difference between... Okay, there we go. Cool. I sent a support about this. Location close is a city. It gave me 2 other locations I didn't recognize. I looked them up, and one was a school and one was a government owned. Submit that to search to support Mary, and my team will look at that inside of the database. So if you submit that as a support ticket, and just if you mention to Georgia that you've just say, because Georgia will be in there, or Keith or one of the guys, just say Mike's asked me to get you to pass this on to Martin. If you say that in the support ticket, Martin will have a proper look at it and get it sorted. Right, I think I've just gone and got lost where we are now because there's that many questions coming in at the same time. If we have a client site, can we still purchase additional sets with the same? Yes, you certainly can. Yes. Then pay the cost for each one. Yes, you can still do that, Brian. Yep, there'll be a recording. Can we overlay the service pages on the main site rather than just one page? Right, so yes, great question there, Steve. Can we overlay to service pages on the main site? Yes, you can, Steve. And eventually, this is definitely not in the first upgrade. You might be able to go in and add an overlay in here for each service, but it's not yet. Okay. So eventually that is something we're looking at, something we've talked about. So when you said it there, it kind of bounced back to me. So rather than just going in and saying, right, you can overlay the whole site with this one URL, eventually what we'll have is an overlay per service. Okay. How many domains do you put on one Cloudflare account? I put up to 500 on there, Maria. But it depends. If they're all different businesses and different thingies, I'm happy to put 500 on. The reason I'm happy to put 500 on is because they're not all connected, so you're not doing anything illegal or breaking anything. They're all real businesses. We need an option to delete select global places. It can't be done yet, Greg. It's because it's inside the database. Every time I go back over here and I click publish, I'm still doing the SSL, but every time I go over there and click it, it repopulates, it rebuilds all the pages out for you. And so it does that every single time. So it rebuilds your whole website. Can you show once again adding to Cloudflare? Right. So basically, the CNAME to Cloudflare is very simple. You add your domain to Cloudflare. So you set up a Cloudflare account, use your domain name. Once you get inside your Cloudflare account, you click on and you've added your website to it, which means you add your name servers in, which Cloudflare shows you exactly how to do that. Then you click DNS records, click add, hit drop down, CNAME. In here, you have local. In here, you have sites.relocal.com. You switch proxy off, and then you click save. Okay, so you've got CNAME, local, sites.3local.com, proxy off. That stays as auto. Save. I'm not going to click save because it's a duplicate of this one down here, which is already set up and done. It's a pain this because every time I click on one, it takes me back to a different place. When recognizing my services page, the shortcodes, what should we do as far as customizing the URL field directly below? If I think I know what you're on about, I don't touch it. I just leave it alone. I like the URLs fields to be as short as possible. Can we add a plus after the Gmail? Yes, you can. So I've just set up, I don't know if it shows you. Let me move this to a different thing just to make sure I don't show anything personal of this client's, but 1 second. No, it doesn't. Right, let me pull this back over. So you can do that, yes. So I've done this, look. See there? So if I go back to sites, my sites, but if I go up here and click on my account, you can see I've done Mike Martin. I use that uscarkeys at gmail.com, but for this one, I've done uscarkeys plus Mr. Autos at gmail.com. And that's just a hack that you can do inside of oh God, I thought I'd lost everybody then. Right, that's just a hack you can do inside with your Gmail email, so you can have a different email per account. So yes, you can do that. Great question. Option for agencies in the future. Right, if I set Cloudflare DNS in GoDaddy, do I need to set the CNAME in GoDaddy? Right, so if you're using Cloudflare, once you set your name server, Samuel, inside of GoDaddy, it will point to Cloudflare and you do everything inside of Cloudflare. After that point, if you've already set the CNAME in GoDaddy, it should automatically pull it into Cloudflare. Option for agencies in the future is Rick's asking. Yes. So I may as well tell you now because we've still got quite a few questions. So the next two things we're working on, okay, for those that know SEO and know everything else, we're currently working on schema for the page, so it automatically adds schema to the page. We're hoping to do that how I think it was Mary asked earlier, so that you can automatically select your Google Business Profile, click a button, and it'll pull it in. If you don't have a Google Business Profile, you'll set it up manual way, but we're hoping that we can do this from your Google Business Profile once you've got them in place. In addition to that, we are working on something called Workspaces. When Workspaces are available, that means you're going to be able to add additional workspaces per website. So per each website will have an additional workspace inside your account. Once that's in position, you can then invite other people to your workspace. So you could set this up for a client, and then your client could log in and check they're happy with the content and other bits and bobs, and you could still be their expert and do this as an agency. Okay, so we are working on all these things for you guys. All right, I'm leaving a lot of the same questions now. If I part company with a client, is it possible to take down their local pages? I mean, yes, Lee, but I don't know why you'd want to take their websites down if they paid up to that point. But yeah, I mean, if it's your account and it's not their account, you have full control. This is why local businesses want this type of service direct, so that they're not parting ways with SEO agencies and then taking all the pages down. Do we add the Google Business Profile link to each pilot site? No, you don't need to add the Google Business Profile link. You can do, okay, Greg, but the citation I put on each page, so the name, address, and the phone number matching exactly as it's shown over on Google. So if the prospect domain is HVAC beep beep beep, I won't say the rest out. Does that mean I just go into 3Local and use the domain to create one page local, and I won't have to touch or update data on their site? Exactly. A roller, I don't know how to pronounce your second name, bud, but that's exactly what you do. So if they've got that site you've just mentioned, you basically add that site when you go to my site and you click set up, you just put their standard URL in the form, and it will automatically create the local dot whatever their URL is. Then you connect the CNAME, you connect the domain name. After you've done that, everything will be set up and done automatically for you, so you don't have to touch their site at all. All you got to do is add a CNAME to their domain name. That's it. Nothing else needed. Right, give me a sec, guys, because where have I gone now? I don't want to lose any of your questions because I feel bad if I do that, but I've just... Every time I get a long question, it kicks me out and makes me come back in. Right, here we go. What pages do you add the map to and services to? So you don't need to add anything to anything, Maria. The map's automatically on your service pages, as you've seen before. So if I go to preview, in fact, let's click publish and try and see if the live site works again yet. It's not working yet. He'll get there. We click preview. So the map's automatically, I just added the map here because I think the page looks crap without an image in that at the top. If you go and look at the one I've done for local.morleyslocal.com, well, you got a quick shot of it then. It was kind of, you see that? I have just a little image at the top banner, and then I do this thing down the bottom, but I've got the overlay in place because the overlay just looks way better. Plus, it means I don't get contacted. It just means that people read the book and go through and do what they need to do. Right, let's have a look. Can you do an update so we can do NAP in a short code and my GBP? Not at this, but maybe, William. That might come. If we can figure out how to pull in the Google Business Profile. we should be able to do it. But when we've done it in the past, we've always used some, I don't even understand it, but some of the stuff hidden in the back end, some codes and stuff. My team of developers know exactly what they're doing with regards to all the back end codes in Google Business Profiles and stuff. So we need to make that user friendly at the front end, because basically those who know what I've created here, I created Magic Page like 10 years ago, and then it was about 3 years after that I was saying to my now business partner, look, we need to be able to imagine that guy's left school, never turned on a computer, has a Facebook account, that's the only thing he does on his computer, and he's laid bricks all his life, so it's not his forte, and I want him to be able to set these things up. And I think we've got this as close to as possible so that anyone can do it. Yes, Schema will be awesome. That should be coming soon. Do we add the GBP link to each pilot site? Yeah, I think I've answered that one. Will this work with Zagio X? It'll work with Zagio sites, definitely. I was speaking to her about it the other day, actually. It'll definitely work with Zagio websites. I've not seen Zagio X, so I don't even know what that does, but I think Zagio X, you put in a few things and it automatically builds a site. Me and Herc need to catch up. What pages do you add the map to and services to? Can I add all locations to Google Business Profile? I believe you can, but I would grow it slow. How would you use this in conjunction with Zagio AI? Well, Zagio AI doesn't do what this does with all the pages. It just creates the site and the local page, the service pages and stuff. Build a website with Zagio and then clip this on it and set up a Google Business Profile, and you're not going to have to do much else. Can you do an update? Okay, I think I've done that one. Sorry, this seems to be dragging me back up the page. Wait a minute. So you've done this site, you created it on your end, Mr. Autos, but most of the cases, businesses, they will have created their pages already. Businesses won't have created all these pages, Peter. Think about it, right? You go to a standard business website. Let's just type in Locksmith Manchester, yeah? Right, and let me scroll down and click on the #1 listing here. Right, so she's got areas covered. This is the #1 website in Manchester. She's got areas covered, Manchester and Salford, yeah? She's created Manchester and Salford. Now, if I was to go to her and say, imagine we draw a radius around your website, a 5-mile radius, right? In that 5-mile radius, we're going to put up pages for 25 different areas. We're going to do emergency locksmiths, we're going to do 24-hour locksmiths, and we're going to do lock changes, and we're going to do blah, 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 blah. So you've got 25 location pages for each individual, the emergency, the 24-hour, the lock change, or whatever it is, whatever services she offers. Let's say she's got all 4 services. That's 100 additional pages that would have taken months and months and months. Imagine building 100 pages manually. For her to be able to add that to her website there, she's got 4 services. Look, locksmith, emergency, residential, commercial. So we can do, so she's got their service pages separate from the 2 location pages. So realistically, if we said we do a locksmith, an emergency, a residential, and a commercial locksmithing service for every single area within a 5-mile radius of your business, and you'll have 100 or 120 or 150 pages instantly by this time tomorrow. Like, people have not built that. People don't do that, and an SEO agency won't do that for you because it takes too long. That's why we've created this so businesses can do it for themselves. Well, the site works in Spain. Yes, it certainly does, mate. Is there any reason to add images or design the pages? Not really, not if you're using the overlay, Kent. You can add the images. We've set it up so that you can go to the homepage of the website. I don't even think I've added images on this site at all. But let's say I wanted that image there, yeah, to show. I can just go copy image address. I can go back into the client site, edit page. So I want it there. I can just click paste. And as you can see, it's pulled the image in. And I'm pretty sure it's massive because of the size of it. But I can go in there now and just resize it and make it smaller. Because it's a giant image that I've added. So you can add images, just copy and paste them straight from your thing, yeah? And then when you go back to the page, the image is in there. So you just copy and paste it straight from the home page of your website. So you just put them on your home page, or you put them wherever you want on your website in your media file, copy the URL, paste them into the page, and then move them around that way. So it's dead easy, it's dead simple, something that I never thought of. So I'm glad you asked the question. I probably should have shown. I'll get better at these because we've not had this up that long, as you know. Save changes. But yeah, I don't bother putting that many images in. Right. Any recommendations for how we can track leads when we send clients? Can do it with an overlay. Lead Simplify. Stick Lead Simplify on there. Oh, in fact, just a second. You just reminded me. So basically, we got that busy. I closed Lead Simplify down and stopped taking on new clients. We got that many new clients, but all the problems have now been fixed and all the servers have been upgraded and everything. We'll reopen Lead Simplify. So I would use Lead Simplify. So that's something else that I own. So I forgot all about it and I closed it down. I said, we're not taking on any new clients. And then I forgot to reopen it because I've been so focused on this. So I'll reopen Lead Simplify and use Lead Simplify. That enables you to do loads of cool stuff. It's a whole nother 5-hour webinar on that one. How many domains do you put on one Google Search Console account? I'll probably put 20 or 30 on. But to be honest, I don't overthink it, Susan. It depends. Right, if I'm doing this for my own websites and I was building hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pilot websites, then I would potentially put them all on separate accounts. But if I'm doing this for clients, I won't bother because it's a professional account. I just set up a professional account and it knows that you're an agency working with clients. So because you now need a Google Business Profile, you're going to in the future to be able to rank these web pages and get any sort of huge amounts of leads, I potentially wouldn't bother setting up different accounts for everyone because the pilot sites that we used to do in the past are not going to work the same. So just so that you know quickly, do you have to link this software to a Google Business Profile? You don't have to, Amy, but you're going to get better results when AI kicks in. Would it be advantageous to SEO tag the images for services outside the 4 provided per site and possibly rank for those services from an image or 2 on each service page? I don't know is the answer. And the reason I don't know is because I don't know when this new AI thing kicks in, whether image ranking is going to be the same as it was previously, or whether it's going to be something that becomes a thing of the past. For local business search, I've never really seen much in the way of images generating a lot of traffic anyway. Do we link the site? Right, so that's a great question, that Greg. So Greg's just asked, do you link the pilot sites together or to the Google Business Profile? So we've got some real good SEO guys on here. So if you don't know what a single niche PBN is, right? Single niche PBN, search YouTube and you'll find videos from me about single niche PBN so you understand them. Okay, so we don't want to link all the sites together. However, not every single one of your sites, but if you're doing them all for the same client and they're all on the same industry, linking the sites together for the purposes of backlinks, external backlinks, creating a link from one site to the other site to the other site to the other sites, is going to boost you because content, as a lot of you know, is becoming a lot more devalued. So in that case, internal linking, external linking, citations, Google Business Profiles, social profiles, YouTube account, which is owned by Google, connected to the business and all the rest of that stuff, are becoming more and more and more powerful. And they're only going to become more powerful as time progresses because, as anybody knows, using ChatGPT now, anybody out there, my 13-year-old son who knows nothing about SEO, using ChatGPT can create content as good as I can from an SEO perspective. So we have to now start taking advantage of the other signals online. And linking websites together, building backlinks from site to site to site will still work. You're still going to get the backlinks. You're still going to get the backlink juice. They're going to be connected to the citation to the GMB. So it's like our other office based. We have another office based in, let's say we've got one in Manchester and we've got one in London. Our other office based in London. You can go here to check out our London team and fire that over. So it's a legit reason to link from one site to the other. So you're not just building stupid links that's not supposed to be there. So you can like put in there, we have 3 other additional offices. What I would probably do is add that to the homepage of not the homepage, but I would probably add that to the services page of the actual website itself. We also provide this service in Manchester, Basildon, London, Oldham, Rochdale, and link to each of your additional sites in those areas. Okay, Amy, at the minute we asked, so Amy's just asked now that your introductory stuff. So there's still an introductory price on the 3 months free. So if you go to 3local.com now, you can still get access to this, and you only pay $10 a month after the first 3 months, and the first 3 months is free. And we're doing that because we don't want people to buy this if it doesn't work for them. So if you don't set it up properly and don't get it right, then it's never going to cost you anything. The reason we've set this up the way we've done it, and we've set it up like that, so what will happen now is we'll potentially keep the 3 months free, but we'll start increasing the price for new clients. So it won't stay at that introductory price of $10 a month. Or, well, it's $120 a year, right? For the 3 months free, $120 a year. That price that will start to creep up. But so the sooner you get it, obviously the better. But we want to keep the free trial for everybody, and the reason we want to keep that is because if you use this on your website and then you cancel, you can't re-add that same website ever again. And we've done that purposely because we're giving such a massive introductory that if somebody cancels that, we know that they're just trying to cancel and game the system. So if you come in and you use the system and then you say, okay, well, I'm going to cancel now, and I'm going to try and set up a free again, that domain name's already blocked to that account, and you can't reuse the system, so you can't come back in. So we've kind of done that instead of. So we want to keep a long introductory free, so that businesses can come in and make money with this before it ever costs them a penny. And I'm going to keep the price as low as I possibly can. I don't think I'm going to make any money at all on the first introductory prices, even though we've had tens of thousands of people sign up now. I don't think we're going to make any money on the introductory prices, but what we're trying to do is just help as many people as possible at this stage. The prices will creep up gradually, and as they do creep up, we'll start to make money off the prices then going forward. If a client already has 25 local city pages, would he still benefit from this system or pass? Okay, so the only reason I would use that, Brian, is I would basically say to the client, okay, let's say your client is based in Basildon and he's got 25 local pages. Like, let's say he wants Hullbridge over here. Then instead of setting Basildon as his central location, we'd set Hullbridge and do a radius around Hullbridge and add additional locations over here. But I wouldn't necessarily do his central location that he's already got 25 local pages in there, because it just seems like doubling up, and doubling up on the same website is potentially not going to give him any benefit. However, let's say your client has got 25 local pages, and we'll use a locksmith example again. He's got 25 local pages for locksmithing, but he also does emergency locksmithing. He also does auto locksmithing. He does commercial, residential, break-in repairs, and he's got various different things like that. You could add additional service pages for every single location. So he's got 4 or 5 pages in each location. So it might work for him, but it depends on his specific situation. If he's got 25 local city pages and he's let's say he is an auto locksmith, and those are just for vehicle unlocking, but he also does car key repairs, car key replacements, and he'll do, I don't know what else, I can't remember, even though I was an auto locksmith for years. But let's say he does car key repairs and car key replacements, then those additional service pages in them additional areas would be brilliant for him, and they'd work really well. You just don't try and replace the 25 service pages he's already got, because he's already got them. It just seems silly to double up to try and rank for the same thing. Google's only going to rank one of those 2 pages. If you do vehicle unlocking and then you do another vehicle unlocking page for the same from the same website, it's not going to rank both pages long term. It might rank them both for a few weeks, but then it's going to decide which one it prefers, and it's going to rank that, and it's going to de-index the other one. So what you're better off doing, if you've got 2 same pages for the same location, is setting the canonical from one of the pages. And for those who are not technical on here, sorry, but setting the canonical from one of the pages to the other page, so that both canonicals point to one page, and Google knows to de-index this page but give all the value from that page to your existing page. Little bit of a technical explanation, but I hope that helps. If I have 5 tree services sites, all of these full sites as subdomain site.x.com. How do I go about sending traffic to the parent site with this software. It's going to go under the local.url.com. So if they're all subdomains, it's going to be the local dot. So what's coming soon, Peter? What's coming soon? What we're hoping to do is the thing we said with the Google Business Profile, the schema and the workspaces. Once the workspaces are available, you'd be able to create multiple sites for a particular. You still won't, because it's still going to only work on the local. I don't know how we do that. You have to use unique domains for each location, buddy. Thought I'd had a smart idea then, but it's not. That won't work. Well, at least I figured it out while we're on live. Right, if I already have a fully SEO optimized local website, will it still be necessary to use this? Yes, Joffrey. This is perfect for a local SEO So, for example, let's say Basildon. We use Basildon as the example, right? Let's say I've got a website that's ranking number one in Google for Basildon. Okay, in fact, the example we just did a minute ago with that locksmith in Manchester was a perfect example, yeah? Like, this locksmith in Manchester that we pulled up before, she's going to rank for Manchester, right? But if I go on to mapdevelopers.com and I go in and type, consent, go away. And I go in and type Manchester in here and click new circle. So her website will rank in that tiny little dot right there, yeah? But if you look around, you can see we've got Openshaw, we've got Droylsden, we've got Longsight, we've got Failsworth, we've got Pendlebury, we've got Stretford, we've got Eccles, we've got Worsley, we've got Ashton-under-Lyne, we've got Duckingfield, and that's just a few. There's hundreds inside of here, all the way out there. Mosley, Oldham, Middleton, Whitefield, right? She could benefit from ranking, and there'll be tons and tons and tons of search. Like, for example, I know for a fact Stockport probably gets about 500 or 600 searches a month, and she's not ranking for it because she's only ranking in Manchester. So she's going up for Locksmith Manchester, but she's not ranking for Locksmith Stockport and Locksmith Levenshulme and Locksmith Stretford and Eccles and Monton and Swinton and Worsley and Whitefield and Prestwich. So if you've got fully SEO optimized for your services and your things in your major city, you still want to use this to get SEO optimized for every single village, town, and suburb within your target radius. And that's why this is so powerful, because it's doing something and it's enabling local businesses to do something they've never been able to do themselves before, ever. They've always been hampered by having to go to an SEO agency or an expert to do this for them, and that's why it's always cost them thousands. Like, if a local business has found this now, they can set this up for $10 a month and have every single area within a 4-mile radius of their business. Okay, so every single area, let's remove circle. Let's go in here, let's type 4-mile radius, new circle. So every single area within that circle, all these dozens and dozens of little areas, Longsight, Openshaw, Newton Heath, Failsworth, Strangeways, Cheetham Hill, Salford, Pendlebury, Stretford, right? All the little areas, every single area, times 4 services. So let's say there's 25 locations in there. They've gone from having a one-page website that people in Openshaw are not searching for a locksmith in Manchester. They're searching for a locksmith in Openshaw. Longsight, they're searching Longsight. Failsworth, they're definitely not searching Manchester. They're searching Failsworth. It's 4 miles away in a straight line. But the locksmiths from Manchester still service Failsworth and still service Pendlebury and still service Salford and Stretford. So these local businesses can say, well, I've got 4 services and I cover a 4-mile radius, and then they've got 100 location-specific pages that are targeted for money keywords in every single location that the business wants to get work. Every single one, and they can do it themselves for a tenner a month. It's like a pint of beer. And previously they've been paying $1,000, $1,500, whatever it is a month for to do this, to actually build all these pages and do this, even using Magic Page plugin. It's not been possible because you can't do multiple services. So to set this up has cost them a fortune, or they've had to be super technical. And that was the point of doing this. It wasn't to enable SEO agencies and people to be able to make a fortune off local businesses. It's to enable local businesses to be super profitable and in a cost-effective, simple, easy way. And this is why I've spent so much time and effort on this, and this is why it's built perfectly, as you've probably seen from inside. There's no bugs, there's no glitches, there's no issues, there's no problems, there's nothing wrong with it, except it takes ages for the SSL to populate. Oh, we still not got it there. Just thought I'd check. Right, let me have another look. How many sites can we build? As many as you want. As many as you want, EA. If business can do this themselves, where does an agency fit in? A lot of businesses are not going to want to do it themselves, Lee. But realistically, I want businesses to be able to do this themselves, because when I was a locksmith, and I built one of the largest independently owned locksmiths in companies in the UK, but when I was out on the tools, I was spending thousands and thousands and thousands every single month with SEO, with Google Ads, with all the other stuff that I was doing. And when I worked it out, I remember working it out years ago, and I can't remember the exact numbers, but literally, I was making less. I was going out and do £2,500 a week. But when I worked out what I was spending and who I was giving all my money to, I was making less money than Google and less money than my SEO agency. And I was the one going out doing 13, 14, 15-hour days. And years ago, I remember saying, I want local businesses to be able to do this for themselves. I want local businesses to be able to do it. But I spent 6 or 7 months learning SEO, learning HTML, learning all, link building, learning all the other stuff, how to build websites, I built them out of HTML at first, not even WordPress. And I spent months and months and months and months learning it all. And then I started implementing it. And then once I figured that out, I got the Manchester Locksmith Pro guy, which probably saved my life, learned his strategy, started doing it all over the country. But literally, I remember having my brother sat in an office and he was just copy, paste, edit, copy, paste, edit, copy, paste, edit all day. Another page, another location, another page, another location, another page, another location, over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, all day, every day. It was taking us 8 weeks to build a website like one of these websites you can do. A builder can do this himself now in a matter of an hour that used to take me 8 weeks in an office with a member of staff. I was paying for the office, I was paying for the staff, I was paying for all the thingies, and I was going out and I was doing the jobs myself. And it was awful. And then we created Magic Page plugin, and I thought, wow, this is going to change the world, but it was too technical for people. People just couldn't figure it out, and I understand that now because I'd spent that many years then learning that I thought it was simple and it was easy, but it wasn't. But this is simple and easy for any local business can do this themselves. And like agencies, people are always going to still need agencies. Companies don't want to do things themselves. You're not going to get accountants coming in here and setting this up themselves. You're not going to get lawyers coming in and setting this up themselves. They want someone else to do it all for them and forget about it. But you will get bricklayers and roofers and builders and plumbers and electricians and locksmiths and people that are not making hundreds of thousands a month that can come in and do this for almost nothing. Right. Is the main three local business model to pay the right? So basically, right, you see that give and get paid? We've set this up so that anybody who uses this can give it to other local businesses, and when they start to pay, we give you 40% commission for life. Now, we've got a couple of people that have gone and have added over 500 businesses already. In the first few weeks, one guy did 150, and I was shocked. In a few weeks' time, when all of his renew, or probably about 2 or 3 months now, because we did a long thingy, I owe him $7,500 already from that first bit. Like, because every business needs this and every business wants this and every business on the planet can benefit from this, the best long-term approach for this is just give it away. Just give it to as many businesses as you can, but go in here and apply for your give and get paid link. Give it away to as many businesses as you possibly can and watch as the commissions come in and come in and come in. So if you want to sell it, that's how you do it. Right, let me have a look at this. Right, for SEO web agencies, 4 mile radius is too small. It's not too small, Peter. Most websites, as you'll notice, as we've shown with that Manchester one before, they don't even cover a 1 mile radius. They have a central location page, they have service pages, and that's about it. So people are covering at less than a mile radius at the minute. We're throwing in a 4 mile radius times the services. And if you want to increase it, well, I increase that, and what's that costing me? $20 a month to go up to 6 miles. That's already give us 24 pages, plus that'll give me 15 of these, which adds another 40. So it's 24 plus this will be 15. That'll be 40. That'll be 120 page. No, it won't. 4, 8, 12, 160 page website just by increasing it to $20 a month. $20 a month is nothing. Think about it. The increasing the radius is pennies. So does this essentially replace MPP? No, it doesn't, Amy. You can do a lot more with MPP. You can do a lot different stuff with Magic Page plugin. Magic Page plugin works, is the best thing on the planet for professionals to do this. But this is designed to be as simple and as easy for anyone who wants simple, quick, and easy. How do you add another website? You need to set up each individual website with a unique email address at present. Does this work in the Netherlands Dutch language? Yes. We actually got somebody the other day in one of the Jamaica. It was Jamaica. And I remember one of the team said to me, is this going to work in Jamaica? And I was like, I have no idea. Like, check, let's see if it works. If it doesn't, just it doesn't, but let's test it. And it works. It's brilliant. He's got index pages and everything. I can't tell you what he does, but it came up. And if you're on here, the person who set up the Jamaica one, hi. We had a big conversation about what you were doing because I didn't know. I honestly didn't. But yeah, it definitely works for everywhere in Europe and America and it doesn't work in like China or places like that. But it does most of the world now. How can I get the commission? When you sign up for the Give and Get Paid, you add your PayPal account, and when your commission's due, you'll get paid automatically straight into your account. So the affiliate program is DIY. Yes, when you do sign up, you'll get loads of resources and stuff like that, and we're always adding new advertisements and things like that that you can use. So yes, that's completely you can do the Give and Get Paid all by yourself. I don't know what promotion options means. Okay, Give and Get Paid. Can you help me with a short SMS script to hook interest and benefit? I use SMS prospecting. Once you signed up, Roller. I don't know what your first name is because you've put a. I've done a list of it. There's a load of SMSs in there inside inside the resources. There's text messages, there's emails, there's little advertisements, there's images, there's all sorts of stuff in there. More people are interested in Give and Get Paid now. Is the Give and Get Paid like an affiliate program? We can bill it directly. The Give and Get Paid is designed for people to give it to local businesses for free, Kent. If you want to do this as a service for clients, then you can do that as well. But what you should be doing then is just do it as a separate one. You don't do this for a client and put it through an affiliate link because it's two totally separate things. If you're doing this as a service for somebody, you just tell them you're building the local pages. They won't know where the pages are coming from. Many cities in the US are further apart than 4 miles. It's not designed for major city. All the major cities are Lana. And if you want to go further than 4 miles, you just click the plus. You can go as big or as small as you want. It starts to cost, but realistically, even going as big as 14-mile radius, you're still only at $100 a month. And you've got 14-mile radius. I wouldn't go that big anyway. I'd stay a lot smaller than that and keep it tight because you want to do towns, village, and suburbs. You don't want to be hitting all major cities straight out the gate. If I have 10 local clients, do I need to send the payment link to them? Or so basically, if you do the Give and Get Paid, you can just send them the page and say, add this to your account. It's free for 3 months, and then it's only going to cost you whatever the cost is. And once that's all set up and done, they can set it up themselves. They log in, they do all this, they can come to these webinars, but then when they pay me, you get paid. To do it as a service for clients, then we purchase directly from Freelocal. Yes, you set each one up as yourself, and eventually we will have workspaces in place. Once workspaces are in place, you'll be able to add multiple websites onto your account. So before you start doing that as a service, I'd wait a couple of weeks, to be honest. I'm not going to put the price up in the next couple of weeks. Probably in the next 4 to 6 weeks I will, but I'll do, Yemi, what I'll do is I'll make sure I release the workspaces before we put the price up. And at least that way you're in a situation where you can still get it at current pricing. Yeah, best I can do for you, bud. What is the prices in the affiliate program? Exactly the same pricing that's on the homepage of the website, or on the whatever the page of the website, the special offer page. If there's a special offer, they'll get the special offer. If there isn't a special offer, they'll get the homepage pricing. Okay, guys, I think I got where is the affiliate link? It's there inside your system, Peter. See that Give and Get Paid? Click it, takes you over to it. Click that, go in, sign up, get your resources. Okay, guys. I said 60 to 90 minutes. We've done about 99 minutes, which is not too bad. So we're saying that we sell to clients. We would need a new 3Local. At present, Kent, you would need a new 3Local account if you're going to sell this to clients per client. You can do the affiliate program where they can set it up themselves, or if you want to set it up for them and do it for them, you would need a unique email. But remember what I showed you earlier, where we've done it on this one. You can do this. See that what I've done? My email is uscarkeys@gmail.com, but uscarkeys plus MROOs at gmail.com. Don't matter if people spam me on that because I don't use it for anything else. But that there can be done. So, yes, you can do that as well. It's the plus sign. I will send you the replay on a replay page. It'll be at some point tomorrow that you'll get that, guys, because this is quite a long one, so it might take a few hours for it to render in the back end. But I will send the replay out. It'll be completely unedited, so all the questions and everything's going to be on there. And I do this every single month now. But as we grow, as we grow, there's going to get more and more and more people, and we can only fit 1,000 people in our GoToWebinar account, so we're not planning on. I don't even think you can increase to more than 1,000 people on live. So it's important to get here early on the nights we do this, because we only do it once a month. Otherwise, you'll be relegated to watching the replay. Is Lead Simplify open? Nope, but I will do that, Kent, tonight. Or it'll be tomorrow now, mate, because it's 8 o'clock at night and I've not seen the kids since school yet today. So I'm going to go home and spend some time with the kids. And then once I've seen the kids, I will get that done tomorrow. Georgia is in from 9 a.m. in the morning. So first thing in the morning, I'll get the team on it and get it sorted for you. So we can use this for only one website. I mean, one Google Business Profile. Greg, go to my YouTube channel, watch this video here. I think this is the one. Oh, maybe that one. How to hack Google AI Mode 3 pack. It's one of these two. Watch them two videos. There shows you how to create pilot sites based off a Google Business Profile. And I can't show the AI mode because I don't have I don't have NordVPN attached to this computer, so I can't set up in the States. But when I search it over in the States and I do it, when I set it up to show the AI mode and I do the search with this, you can see that my website, my Google Business Profile is ranking on the left, but the website that I'm using that's ranking on the right isn't the one that's shown attached to the Google Business Profile. It's a different one that we've used citations for, that's got the NAP information and it's ranking in the AI mode. That's how we're going to be able to do it. So have a watch of them too, mate. They'll really help you. Okay, guys, thank you very much for being here. We've lost about 70 people, so we've got a bit of space now, but we filled the room, which is absolutely awesome. And for everybody to stay on a full 100 plus minutes is pretty cool. We're going to do one of these walkthroughs once a month. If you have questions that you don't want to put to support, get on here each month. We're going to do this every single month, guaranteed now. And I'll go through and do all the training with you. And then any questions that you've got that I can answer personally, at least that way I can help you. And yes, so thank you very much. And I will see you all. If I don't speak to you before, cheers, Dan and Joffrey and all you guys. I can see loads of thumbs up, which is awesome. And Lee, nice one. And yeah, I'll speak to you all in a month. Cheers. See you later. Bye.